Good evening, church. I want to give honor to God, the pastor's wife, and my family. This is a tough one. I talked to Pastor a couple weeks ago, and he wanted me to give a testimony. I talked to him last week, and he said, "You only got 3 minutes to give it." And I said, "Pastor, this is 10 years of something that I was going through that I've been in the gutter for, that 3 minutes is not going to do it." So he says, "Okay, you got 3.5 minutes." Some of you probably already know my story. Some of you may think you know my story, or some of you may not know at all. I graduated out of State Police Academy in 1992. I worked at various stations. Some of you I pulled over once or twice in here. 2001, I became a detective in narcotics and organized crime bureau. I followed people around. I worked undercover, sold drugs, bought drugs, sold guns, listened to the phones and wiretapping organized crimes, mostly mobsters out of Staten Island, Long Island. And then I'm moving fast. 2006, I get a call while I'm in my office, and my lieutenant tells me to come downstairs. I go downstairs. He says, "I got to take your gun from you." So I thought he was joking, because we play like that, and some cops play like that all the time. They tell you to come in, we're taking your gun, you're suspended. So I looked at him and said, "You taking my gun?" He goes, "Yeah, I got to bring you down to division headquarters. I don't know why." So I go down to division headquarters. They tell me that my name was brought up for criminal activity. Right away, obviously, I say no. They says, "Yeah, your name was brought up in criminal activity." They took my phone, my car, my gun, went to my house, and took my gun. My wife had more guns in the house. They took all my guns. Moving right along, they keep saying, "Oh, you're going to get indicted, you're going to get indicted, you're going to get indicted." 2007, they indict me. Some of you already know, probably was in the newspaper, it was on Google. A year goes by. Through that whole year from 2007 to 2008, they kept pressuring me. "You did something, just admit it, just admit it, just admit it." And I said, "I'm not admitting to anything that I didn't do." My mother, who passed away in 2010, prayed every day on the phone with me, talking to me, do not ever admit to anything you didn't do. I went to trial in 2008, lost in trial, convicted. Pastor was there when they walked me out. Prison for 3 years. Trenton State Prison, if any of you know. 23-hour-and-a-half lockdown. Came out of the cell for 15 minutes just to take a shower and walk back. I saw my wife and my daughter behind a glass for 3 years. My sisters and my mother, they came down religiously. She's not here tonight. Charlotte Jennings used to come down to make me laugh on Tuesdays and Thursdays with my sister. I get out, 2011. I'm moving along. It's a lot more, but I don't have that much time. 2011, I get sent to a halfway house. I did 3 years. I was coming home in the end of 2011. I'm at the halfway house. And I was here for 5 days, and then my attorney shows up with my wife. He pulls me in the office, and he hands me an envelope. And he says, "What happened to you should have never happened." He says, "Your conviction was overturned." So right away, I fell on the ground and I said, "Thank you, Jesus." And my attorney is Jewish. He's looking at me like, "What are you talking about?" You know? So I think I'm going home that day. I'm not a convicted felon anymore, so I can't be around the inmates. So they take me to Royal Prison, and they put me, it's called One Left. It's almost like solitary confinement. I was there for like another 3 weeks. I finally come home. I'm home. I'm thinking it's over. No, it's not. They want to take me to trial again. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, up until this 3 weeks ago, I was going to court 3 times a month, sitting in the courtroom. They would threaten me with going back to trial. The last time was in October. I get a call at the house, and my attorney says, they want you to just say that you committed a misdemeanor offense. I says, no. So they call back again and says, we'll give you a minor offense, you admit to it, just forfeit your job. So I said, oh, I still have a job. And I said, absolutely not. I said, I didn't do anything wrong. So they threatened me again. We're going to trial March 5th. I told Pastor this in November. 2 weeks ago, this Friday just passed, I'm working in Manhattan, and I get a text from my attorney. He says, can you talk around 12:30? I said, yes. So I called my wife, and I told her that the attorney called. He said he wants to talk at 1:30, and we're trying to figure out what could it be, what could it be, what could it be. I said, it can only be good news. I said, it can't be anything else but good news. It can't be, nothing else. Nothing else but good news. So I got a text from him around 1:30, and I went in the corner and pulled out my phone, and it says, Merry Christmas, Brian, you won. So, I said, I'm looking at the phone, I'm like, we won? So I said, what's this guy talking about? Then the next text I get is the official court document saying that the case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it didn't ever happen. Now I'm mad now. Now I'm fuming. Now I break down crying. I call my wife and I'm saying things that I'm like, I'm hot. Because I'm like, it's over, it's done, like it never happened. And it's everything that my mother told me. If you just believe and have faith in God, and you know, and you know, and you know. And there was times when I was in Trenton and I was doubting. Why me? Why? What's going on? What's going on? Why me? My mother passed away in prison when I was in prison, and I had to go to a private viewing, and I was shackled, and I walked to the casket. They wouldn't even take the cuffs off for me to go to the casket. So now when I get out and they tell me this, now I'm mad. So I talked to my attorney a couple weeks ago, and there's a lot I can't say, but if you do the math and you know what happens when you're convicted for something that you didn't do, so you know that there's a big reward that's coming.